Hollywood may seem glamorous on the outside, but behind every celebrity's red carpet smile is a team of assistants, nannies, chefs, and security guards, watching everything. And while most stay silent, some eventually reach a breaking point. And when they talk, the truth isn't just shocking, it's career-ending. Today, we're diving into the hidden world behind the fame, where A-listers go from beloved icons to cautionary tales, all because of the people who knew them best. These are the insiders who saw the meltdowns, the demands, the tantrums, and finally exposed it all. From secret rules like no eye contact to disturbing behind-the-scenes outbursts that destroyed entire reputations, this list will change the way you look at your favorite stars forever. And number 6? It's not just embarrassing, it's downright brutal. Let's get into it. Number 8. James Corden. James Corden built his brand on charm, humor, and being everyone's favorite late-night host. But according to people who've worked with him, especially behind the scenes, that friendly smile may be just for the cameras. Over the years, multiple insiders have painted a very different picture of Corden's real behavior. Former restaurant staff have accused him of being shockingly rude and aggressive. One viral story claimed he berated a waiter over a minor mistake with his wife's egg yolk omelet, and only apologized after being banned by the restaurant owner. But it didn't stop there. Behind the scenes at his show, ex-writers and crew members have described him as dismissive, credit-hogging, and quick to anger. One anonymous staffer even said he had a habit of talking down to people like they were beneath him. What's most jarring is the gap between the nice guy image he projects on TV and the way former staff describe working with him. It's made fans question whether Corden's whole persona is just an act, and whether the real version is someone very few people want to work with. Number 7. Ellen DeGeneres. For years, Ellen DeGeneres was the queen of daytime TV, known for her catchphrase, "Be kind," and a brand built entirely on positivity. But when her own staff started speaking out, that image quickly began to fall apart. In 2020, multiple former employees from The Ellen DeGeneres Show came forward with disturbing claims. They described a toxic work environment filled with fear, intimidation, and silent rules, like never making eye contact with Ellen in the hallway. Some even said they were punished for taking medical leave or attending funerals. And it wasn't just producers. Former bodyguards, makeup artists, and behind-the-scenes staff revealed that Ellen herself could be cold, dismissive, and shockingly disconnected from the people around her. One former security team member said she acted like you were beneath her. The backlash was swift. Sponsors dropped out. Ratings fell, and suddenly, the woman who danced across the stage every morning became the face of fake kindness. Despite a public apology, many viewers and staff weren't convinced. The revelation hit fans hard. The woman who made millions preaching kindness might have just been playing a role. Number 6. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez is a global icon, singer, actress, businesswoman, and one of the most recognizable faces in entertainment. But according to former staff and insiders, working for her isn't quite the glamorous job it appears to be. Several former employees have described J.Lo as one of the most demanding celebrities in Hollywood. Hotel workers claimed they were instructed not to make eye contact with her or even speak unless spoken to. One staff member reportedly got fired for looking her in the eye during a backstage moment. And that story isn't unique. Former assistants have spoken about extreme work expectations, including 20-hour days, no tolerance for lateness, and being on call around the clock. One even claimed she was expected to have coffee ready, shoes polished, and snacks arranged to perfection every single morning, or face being replaced. Even her former driver once told reporters that Lopez made him turn around multiple times on a single trip just because she didn't like the route he took. To many, these stories hint at a star obsessed with control, image, and perfection, sometimes at the cost of basic respect. Behind the red carpet glamour, staff say the real J.Lo is far less charming than the public persona she presents. Number 5. Christian Bale. Christian Bale is one of Hollywood's most intense method actors, known for completely transforming himself for roles. But behind the scenes, former staff and crew members say his intensity doesn't always stay on the screen, and sometimes crosses the line into full-blown rage. The most infamous example? A leaked audio recording from the set of Terminator Salvation, where Bale unleashed a screaming, profanity-filled meltdown at a crew member who accidentally walked into his line of sight. The rant lasted several minutes and included threats, insults, and a level of fury that left people stunned. But according to insiders, this wasn't a one-time thing. Former assistants and crew have described Bale as short-tempered, difficult to approach, and prone to outbursts. One former employee said working with him felt like walking on eggshells, never knowing when something small might set him off. Even his own family has publicly clashed with him. In 2008, Bale was arrested after allegedly assaulting his mother and sister in a hotel room, charges that were eventually dropped, but the damage to his image was already done. While Bale's acting talent is undeniable, multiple insiders say his off-screen behavior has made him one of the most difficult stars to work with, a reminder that brilliance often comes with a dark edge. Number 4. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell was once the undisputed queen of the runway, fierce, flawless, and iconic. But talk to the people who worked for her behind the scenes, and you'll hear a very different story, one filled with fear, lawsuits, and flying phones. Over the years, Naomi has developed a reputation for treating her staff with shocking aggression. She's been sued multiple times by former assistants, housekeepers, and even airline staff, many of whom claimed she physically attacked them or subjected them to relentless verbal abuse. One of the most infamous incidents came in 2007, when Campbell pleaded guilty to assaulting her maid with a cell phone over a pair of misplaced jeans. The maid later described years of emotional torment, saying Naomi would throw tantrums that involved not just yelling, but physical objects being hurled across the room. And that's not all. A former assistant once claimed she was slapped across the face for forgetting to pack an outfit. Another said she was forced to sleep outside Naomi's hotel room, on the floor, in case she was needed during the night. While Naomi has spoken about anger management in interviews and tried to rebrand herself in recent years, those who worked closest to her paint a chilling picture of a star who ruled through intimidation. It's not just diva behavior, it's a history of violence, manipulation, and fear, and it nearly ended her career. Number 3. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan's fall from Hollywood royalty was messy, public, and heartbreaking. But what most people didn't see were the chaotic scenes unfolding behind the camera, especially for the staff who had to clean up the damage. Former assistants, makeup artists, and on-set crew have described working with Lindsay as a nightmare roller coaster of unpredictability. One ex-personal assistant claimed she was often woken up in the middle of the night to bail Lindsay out of wild situations, sometimes literally. Another described being sent to track down stolen jewelry and hide evidence of hard partying before the paparazzi arrived. On film sets, it was worse. Directors have said Lindsay was chronically late, sometimes missing entire days of filming without explanation. Staff were left in limbo, rescheduling shoots and dealing with angry producers, all while trying to keep her out of trouble. One crew member on the set of Georgia Rule said they were warned Lindsay might spiral at any time and had to adjust lighting and camera setups to match her ever-changing mood and appearance. Even hotel staff at luxury resorts reported being verbally abused or stiffed on tips, with one calling her entourage the most entitled group they'd ever dealt with. What makes Lindsay's case especially tragic is that so many insiders say she had moments of genuine sweetness, but they were often buried under chaos, addiction, and the pressure of fame she wasn't prepared to handle. Number 2. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is known for her bold lyrics, larger-than-life personality, and fierce presence on stage. But according to multiple former staff members and collaborators, working with her behind the scenes can be a totally different experience, one filled with fear, stress, and sudden mood swings. Ex-assistants have described Nicki as a perfectionist to the point of obsession, with a hair-trigger temper. One former stylist claimed she once screamed for 20 straight minutes over a misplaced accessory, then fired her entire glam squad on the spot. Another personal assistant said Nicki demanded round-the-clock availability, and if they didn't answer immediately, they were instantly replaced. But what really caught public attention was the 2019 lawsuit filed by a former tour manager, alleging a toxic work environment, verbal abuse, and unpaid wages. He claimed Nicki created an atmosphere of fear where staff were constantly walking on eggshells, afraid of triggering one of her infamous tirades. Even collaborators in the music industry have hinted at her behind-the-scenes volatility. Producer and songwriter Elijah Blake once revealed that he stopped working with her because of how poorly she treated the people around her. To fans, Nicki Minaj is a powerhouse, unapologetic, stylish, and wildly talented. But for those who've worked in her inner circle, she's also someone who demands total control, often at the expense of her team's sanity. Number 1. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood history. Charming, polished, and always camera-ready. But if you talk to people who've worked behind the scenes, a very different version of Cruise begins to emerge. One that's intensely controlling, deeply private, and sometimes downright bizarre. Former staffers and assistants have described Cruise's inner circle as hyper-regulated, with strict rules on everything from eye contact to how he's addressed. One former housekeeper claimed she was fired for placing his slippers the wrong way outside his bedroom door. Another assistant said they were expected to learn Cruz's daily habits to the minute, down to the exact temperature he wanted his bottled water. But what truly makes Cruz's staff-related stories so intense is the influence of Scientology. Multiple ex-employees allege that his personal staff was handpicked and vetted by church officials, and that some were required to attend Scientology training sessions just to stay employed. In one case, a former member of the church even claimed he was assigned to be Cruz's personal handler, tasked with keeping him emotionally stable during shoot. Even his on-set behavior has raised eyebrows. In 2020, Cruz went viral for screaming at crew members on the set of Mission Impossible 7 over COVID-19 safety violation. While some praised his passion, others said the tirade showed a man teetering on obsession, with little patience for human error. Publicly, Tom Cruise is smooth, professional, and always in control. But according to former staff, the price of maintaining that image is an atmosphere of fear, extreme control, and total devotion, or you're out. And there you have it, 10 celebrities whose carefully crafted images came crashing down thanks to the people who saw it all from the inside. Fame may protect you from critics, but when your own team starts talking, the truth gets harder to hide. So now the question is, who's next? If you want more celebrity reveals like this one, you know what to do. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.